Greetings and welcome back to Room 303 in our chats with Emily as we are calling our readings through the poetry of Emily Dickinson. We are using the Johnson edition. We are now in poem 558, But Little Carmine Hath Her Face. Now, we are back to another nature riddle poem. We are back to poem 25. Do you guys remember this one? She slept beneath a tree, remembered but by me. I touched her cradle mute, she recognized the foot, put on her carmine suit, and see. When we get to poem 1063, Emily will say herself, often this line has been used about her short poems, that ashes denote that fire was. It's a fun line. And the argument here is that we have another riddle poem, and the riddle here is about the tulip flower. So as we play the game, you're going to enjoy this one. Now, our assumption is that you've been following our stuff at LearnStrong.net. Down the left-hand side, Chats with Emily, our playlist. I'm hopeful that you've worked through our set of introductory comments. I'm also hopeful that you've read the preceding 557 poems. We just finished with 557. She hid the last. Now, if you've done this, you know that Emily loves to play this game. Why? Because she spent so much time around flowers in her daddy's garden that became her garden. She took great care of it, and she loves to ask about the flowers and the symbolism of flowers. You guys will remember in our study of Hamlet that Ophelia likes to hand out flowers at the end of her life because the flowers represent different things, remembering, of course, that she handed to Gertrude what flower? The daisy, right? So for Emily, we have different flowers celebrated throughout her poetry. Here it will be the tulip. But I want to point out, you guys remember when we did 421, that we're back to the face again. A charm invests a face imperfectly beheld. The lady dare not lift her veil for fear it be dispelled, but peers beyond her mesh, and wishes it denies, lest interview annul a want that image satisfies. Here, we're going to see that both in poems 421 and in this poem, there is this drawing of force from somehow the creator's invisibility. Emily, can we call her recluse? Emily, the one that doesn't want to spend a lot of time around other people, loves to imagine that flowers have feelings too, especially in this case, tulips. Let's enjoy. But little Carmine has her face of emerald scant, her gown, her beauty, is the love she doth, itself exhibit mine. Now, notice the word but to begin this poem is going to be almost like a throwaway line. This is why we love our Emily's poems to be called Chats with Emily. Because it's almost like she's just throwing away. And it's almost like in the middle of a conversation, she says something like this. You know, especially, why don't we ever see more of you? Why are you never out? What is going on with you? And she says, well, yeah, but little Carmine hath her face. You know, again, Carmine used in poem 25, right? Hath her face of emerald scant. Her gown, that is to say, the stem, right, of the tulip. Her beauty is the love she doth. In other words, she just exists. The tulip just exists to be beautiful itself. And then the word exhibit. By the way, there was a variant on the word exhibit to be enable. Mine. Now, when we get to poem 837, we'll come back to our study of this brief poem. This is what she says in 837. How well I knew her not, whom not to know has been, a bounty in perspective now, next door to mine, the pain. What exactly is going on here? By the way, she mentions the gown. Do you remember the idea that Emily will dress all in white as she takes on her poetic enterprise? And we commented on this in our study of poems 271, 325, 388, and 542. In other words, somehow she's defined by this garment that she wears. What is the point that she's making? I think at 2a, she's making the argument that sometimes beauty is enough. It doesn't have to be commented on. And in that regards, there's no reason to be jealous of the tulip. Just appreciate the beauty of the tulip. At 2b, well, obviously, the nature riddle is fun here, a tulip. At 3a, not you know, to hammer home it too much, But remember when we just did 557, we talked about her nature riddled poems. Well, let's give that list again so you can compare them. It's fun to compare these. 60, poem 60, poem 72, 173, 247, 311, 507, and as we said, 557. All of these poems share in common what? She loves to look at nature and give you a riddle to somehow make you think. Finally, in 3b, this is a fun way to try and own a poem like this. If you had to choose one flower that best describes you, what would that flower be and why? Thank you.